Hola chicos, ¿qué tal? Soy la profesora Lorraine. Bienvenidos a la Escuelita de Español. What do you want to be when you grow up? This is one of the most common questions that adults ask their little ones, and the answers never cease to be interesting and creative. From astronauts who want to navigate through space to doctors who want to help others. This is what we'll be learning in today's episode. Jobs and professions in Spanish. ¿A qué te dedicas? And ¿qué haces? Are two common ways of asking what someone does for a living. But before we get into other ways of asking what's your job in Spanish, let's learn the verbs that will be used most of the time when talking about trabajo y ocupación. Trabajo means job, and ocupación, as it sounds, means occupation. The verbs I'm referring to are trabajar, which means to work. Another verb that you'll be using a lot when talking about your job is hacer, which means to do. And another one that we always use is dedicar. Dedicar literally means to dedicate. However, when using this verb in terms of jobs, we are referring to what do you dedicate yourself to do or doing. So dedicar, to do. So let's repeat the three verbs that you will be using most of the times when talking about your job. Let's repeat. Trabajar, hacer, dedicar. Now, let's go ahead and learn some of the ways that you can ask, what's your job in Spanish? ¿En qué trabajas? ¿En qué trabajas? ¿Cuál es tu trabajo? ¿Cuál es tu trabajo? Both of these questions mean, what's your job? ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? Or you might hear, ¿a qué te dedicas? ¿A qué te dedicas? Both of these questions mean, what do you do? Let's repeat them one more time. ¿En qué trabajas? ¿Cuál es tu trabajo? ¿Qué haces? ¿A qué te dedicas? If you wish to answer any of these questions or you're simply talking about your job, most of the time the structure to follow will be soy and the occupation. So the translation for this, as you could recall, soy means I am or I'm. And in English, we do use the indefinite article a or an and then the occupation. So in Spanish, we would say soy maestra. In English, we would say I'm a teacher. So we do use the article in English, but we do not use the indefinite articles in Spanish. So again, in order to answer or talk about your job, you say soy plus your occupation. Another way of talking about your job is trabajo como plus your occupation. Let me repeat that. Trabajo como, and then you say your occupation. Trabajo como literally means I work as a something. For example, trabajo como maestra. Trabajo como maestra, which means I work as a teacher. So if I am asked, ¿en qué trabajas? which means what do you do? I could say, soy maestra. I am a teacher. Let's look at another profession. Soy niñera. Soy niñera. Niñera means babysitter. So, soy niñera means I am a babysitter. Soy cocinera. Soy cocinera. Cocinera means cook. Soy cocinera. I am a cook. Let's use the following list to learn some more vocabulary for trabajos y ocupaciones en español. Please note that while there are a few exceptions, professions in Spanish have a male and a female equivalent, ending in O or A respectively. So, to say lawyer, you could say abogado, that's for male lawyer, or abogada. Let's repeat. Abogado, abogada. Fireman or firefighter. So for male firefighter, bombero. Bombero. For female firefighter, bombera. Bombera. Let's look at waiter. Waiter is mesero. Mesero. Waitress, mesera. Mesera. Electrician. Electrician is electricista. Now let's focus on electricista for a minute. For electricista, we do not have a masculine and a feminine word. So you use electricista to refer to female electrician and also for male electrician. So it's just electricista. Let's repeat that. Electricista. Same goes for dentist. Whether it's male or female, we say dentista. Dentista. Hairdresser. For male hairdresser, peluquero. Peluquero. And female hairdresser, peluquera. Peluquera. Baker. If it's a male baker, then you say panadero. Panadero. And a female baker, panadera. Panadera. Singer. For singer, whether male or female, you say cantante. Cantante. For nurse, if it's a male, you say enfermero. Enfermero. That's a male nurse. For a female nurse, enfermera. Enfermera. A mason. A mason is albañil, whether male or female, albañil. Let's move on to farmer. So in Spanish, you could use a few different words to say farmer, but the two most common are granjero for male farmer, granjero, and granjera for female farmer, granjera. The other word we could use is agricultor. Agricultor for male, agricultora for female. Doctor. Doctor means doctor. So if it's a male, you say doctor, and if it's female, you say doctora. Doctora. Assistant. If you're an assistant, then you say asistente. Whether male or female, say asistente. Buen trabajo repitiendo. Good job repeating. Chicos, you can also choose to talk about what someone else does. But to do that, you'll need to use the irregular verb ser. Remember, ser, that means to be. Of course, you'll have to use it in its other subject forms. Vamos a practicar. Let's practice with a few examples. Él es carpintero. Repeat with me. Él es carpintero. Remember, él es means he is. So, él es carpintero means he is a carpenter. María es oficial de policía. María es oficial de policía, which means María is a police officer. Ella es secretaria. Ella es secretaria. She is a secretary. Ellos son pescadores. Ellos son pescadores, which means they are fishermen. Nosotros somos actores. Nosotros somos actores. We are actors. Let's look at one more. Diego es mecánico. Diego es mecánico, which means Diego is a mechanic. Excelente trabajo hoy, amigos. There are many other jobs and professions in Spanish, but it will be impossible for us to learn all of them in one episode. So please practice with these for now. Before I go, I'd like to encourage you to keep practicing what you learn on the show and of course to keep tuning in. Soy la profesora Lorraine. Nos vemos pronto. Adiós.